Is tablet computing the way of the future? As you probably know, Apple has recently announced the iPad Pro, a larger, more powerful iPad meant to appeal to the professional user. Though there are already powerful tablets on the market, is this going to be the thing that changes the perception of tablets from just fun pads to serious machines? Guys, what do you think? Are you going to switch to an iPad Pro? Do you like it? Do you want it? Lewis, what do you think?
I like that this is essentially Apple's hybrid, right? They never use the H word, but this is their hybrid. This is their two-in-one. This is Apple's version of the Surface, and it's kind of interesting seeing the way both companies approach it. Microsoft is running a full OS on the Windows Surface Pro, and whereas Apple says like, no, we're not going to run the full OS. We're going to run iOS.
Right.
So that's kind of interesting, and I would love to own one. I would absolutely love to ditch my laptop and go hybrid, but I don't know. I feel like I would be more productive with a laptop. I still feel like tablets are a little bit more for consuming than for actually producing things.
Do you think they're hedging their bets, putting the iOS on there rather than a full OS? Is that what's going to prevent people from really jumping on board to it, or is it simply just going to be like Apple says this is for pros now? Let's all just move to it.
I think Apple is putting iOS on their Pro intentionally. I don't know what their long-term plan is, but I mean, think about it. I mean, it's interesting. Like I said, Microsoft is going like, it runs full Microsoft Windows 10.
Right.
And Apple say like, this is running iOS, and even though it's running iOS, look how great Office looks on it.
Right. Well, isn't that the thing? You're going to have to wait for the app for iOS to come out before you can run the software, even if that software is available for Apple computers. Apple computers.
Right.
Does anyone say
yeah.
Apple computers anymore? I just felt really old saying that.
It's like, I feel like Microsoft is clinging to the PC, whereas Apple is saying like, let go of the PC. This is all about hybrids, not laptops. This is all about like hybrids, apps, and tablets.
See, but then it's weird to say like, let go of the PC, use this tablet with this hampered OS, but it's also for productivity and can do everything else. Dan, I've let you be silent for too long. What do you?
Yes, I've been holding my tongue. It's such a non-conversation. I mean, it really is.
Oh, we're done.
We're done. Thank you. Good night. No, the Surface tablet has been doing this for a long time now, and it's like just because Apple comes out and says they're doing it, now it's become a trending topic.
Right.
And I think here's the deal. I mean, there's always going to be an Apple, there's always going to be a Microsoft, and both of them are going to come out with products that are similar, albeit Apple, which I think is so ironic that Apple was behind the curve on this one. I mean, Microsoft came out with a full tablet that ran an operating system way before, a good one, I guess I should say.
Apple's company line was no one wants to work on a tablet. Tablets are not for that.
Right.
And I don't think it's the success of the Surface that made Apple rethink it. Because
right. But they're seeing a huge market share that I think Microsoft is inching away at. It's kind of like the tortoise and the hare. And I think what's happening is now Apple's playing catch up, and sadly, I think they will play catch up and they'll surpass Microsoft because Apple has, a gazillion dollars at their disposal and can throw it at whatever they want.
Oh, and Apple also has a history of doing that, right? Like entering a space and doing it right. And even though we have some question about whether putting iOS on it or full OS is really the right way to go, but they do it in a way that whether or not they do it right, they call it the reality distortion field, right? Where everyone just like looks at the Apple thing and says, "Well, this is now what we're supposed to do because Apple says so." To me, the best thing about this, whether or not, who came first or whatever, the fact that Apple jumps into something and kind of a rising tide raises all ships, right?
Yes.
So Apple says this is what you do. So now all manufacturers, they're going to see a boost in sales of tablets because Apple has said that we can now use tablets for real work. But here's the really sneaky thing, is if you think about laptops, we're all used to paying like $200 for a good laptop that works, right? And the general consensus is you can pay around that and get a laptop. Now tablets come out and it's like, well, for work, Right. It's like it
Right.
starts at 600 and those are the okay ones. You're probably going to want to pay
Yeah.
800. So now all manufacturers are like, tablets, we can make more money off of tablets. So I mean, it's going to be great for the industry, right? Whether or not it's a good thing, whether or not Apple's is the best tablet, I think it's going to be great for the whole industry. So yay, the industry wins.
Yes, somebody's winning. I don't know who, but yeah, I think bottom line for me, it's I'm still going to use the PC like until my last dying breath because for work I can't see myself bringing what we do at Deal News at least down to a tablet level. It just seems counterproductive.
I'll tell you, I'm working on a tablet right now. I'm recording this from a tablet. My primary computer is a tablet. It works great. You have outputs. You plug it into your keyboard, mouse, and screen. It works just like a desktop, but then I can lift it and bring it and read comic books on it, and it's highly, highly portable. So as long as they surpass a certain threshold of performance where you can plug in all the peripherals and do everything that you need to on a desktop on it, I mean, it works like any other computer, and you can also rip the keyboard off and, like I said, read a comic book. That's not the only thing I do on tablet.
I think you're a heretic, and I'm leaving right now.
Well, that's our 2 cents. What's yours? What do you think of the iPad Pro? Are you going to buy one? Do you think tablet computing is the wave of the future? Tell us your thoughts in the comments below. For DealNews.com, along with Dan Ledbetter and Luis Ramirez, I'm Jeff Summergy. Goodbye.